In this live martial arts for self-defense discussion, I want to ask the question, which martial art is best for self-defense? And I want to know what you think. This is a discussion. Tell me in the comment section, what do you think? Is it going to be boxing, traditional Western boxing? Do you think it's Muay Thai, where you're using elbows, knees, kicks, and boxing and punches? Are we talking jiu-jitsu, Japanese jiu-jitsu or Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Or like I started, my first martial art was judo. I also did Western wrestling. Do you think it's Western wrestling? Do you think it's going to be Krav Maga, kind of a stylized martial art that was turned into something that's specifically for self-defense that incorporates karate and boxing and I don't know what else is in the jiu-jitsu, a lot of hand, or not the jiu-jitsu, the Krav Maga, the gun takeaways. They do a lot of that. Which martial art is best for self-defense? Is it Kung Fu? Is it Shaolin Kung Fu? Is it an older style? Is it Hapgar Kung Fu? Is it the, what do they call that? The Wing Chun. Is it Wing Chun? Is it Bruce Lee style? Is it Jeet Kune Do? Is it going to be the Filipino martial arts? The Kali, Salat, Eskrima, Arnis, Doce Perez? Which one is best for self-defense? Or is it going to be a blend? Or are you one of the Bruce Lee adherents who say what he said, which was take something from each one, take the best that works for you and discard the rest? That's not a direct quote from Bruce Lee. That's basically what he said. Are you a tools person? I use the cane for self-defense. I use something like this pocket stick, this Selfy-Stick. These are your wars. It's a fist load. You can jab with it. You can stick it into his pressure points. Of course, obviously, I carry a gun for my work, and when I'm not working, I conceal carry, but that's not really the discussion. That's something else, right? I also carry a blade. I carry several tools for self-defense. Is it one of the bladed styles? Do you think that you should carry a staff or a walking stick? What's the best martial art for self-defense? I personally believe, this is my personal opinion, and I want to know what you think, because it is a discussion. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying this is my experience, my knowledge, and my training. You know, all the things that people told me and the things that I believed, which have changed through the years. I don't believe all the crap that I learned a long time ago. I now have a different way to see things. But please, in the comment section, let me know, what do you think? What is the best martial art for self-defense? Or is it going to be a selection of martial art styles? Now, I think that in addition to all of the techniques of martial arts, you have to look at something called principles. And the principles, it's like the difference between strategy and tactic. If you think in terms of the military, which is also part of my background, you don't just learn tactics, you have to learn strategies to employ those tactics. In other words, another way to think about it is you have weapons systems, you have guns, you have tanks, you have airplanes, you have ships, now you have drones, you have all kinds of drones, underwater drones, above the water, in the air, walking robot dogs. So you have a multitude of different types of weapons. If you're an infantryman, you have your mortars, you have your rifle, you have your machine guns, you have your bayonet when you run out of ammo. You have different calibers of ammunition. Those are all techniques that we would say in martial arts. So punching is a technique, elbows are techniques, kicks, knees are techniques, grappling, different techniques in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, arm bars, kimuras, all these different techniques for, slap blocks. You could be talking about the Doce Perez styles, the Filipino martial arts. You have techniques, but then you have the principles that underpin all the techniques. Principles of situational awareness. Number one, pay attention, see what's around you, see what's happening. Get your earbuds out of your ear. Get off your phone, pay attention, look forward, ahead. I always say look up, but I mean look straight ahead. Look 5 and 25, 5 feet around the car before you get out, 25 feet before you get off the subway. See who's lurking, who's waiting for you outside your door. Also, think about what can you remove or destroy. Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer. What a great book for self-defense. Talks about all these different principles. In the military, we have close with and destroy, violence of action, overwhelming your opponent, being the first mover advantage. You have different principles that you apply using techniques. So talk about techniques in self-defense. Is it going to be punches? Is it going to be kicks? Is it going to be elbows, knees? Are we talking about grabbing and twisting? Are we talking about jiu-jitsu? Are we talking about arm bars? Are we talking about pressure points? Are we talking about choking somebody out? What are the techniques? Personally, what I teach my children and my students, my in-person students, and what I teach a lot on this channel, as practical as that we can get it, basic strikes with any technique you can, fist, elbow, palm strike, elbows. I think he said that, kicks, low kicks, not high kicks anymore, no spinning kicks, no jump spinning kicks, no axe kicks, no spinning hook. They all work. There's nothing wrong with them. But as you look at practical self-defense, keeping your leg lower to the ground tends to work out a lot better, especially if you're fighting somebody who has a little bit of experience, a little bit of timing and distance, and they can overcome you. You're jump spinning kicks is what I'm saying. They work there are two things. There's the ring, there's the combat sports, or competition sport, martial art, for points, and you can still have knockouts, right? Boxing has knockouts, MMA has knockouts, Taekwondo, I think maybe still, I don't know, the stuff I've seen recently doesn't look like, they have as many knockouts as they used to back when I was younger. But there's still knockouts. You can still get knocked out, but it's controlled, and there's a referee, and there's a set of rules, and then you have street fighting, and then you have, and that's different than straight self-defense. That's different, after-school fight. That's not self-defense. That's fighting, right? Beefing with somebody. I'm talking about like pure self-defense. When it's life or death, you or him, or you or a group of them, what are you going to use? What styles are conducive to martial arts? Is there one style? I remember a guy I knew in Ohio, I'm not going to say his name, not that he's watching, but I think some of you would know who he is. He's not unwell known, or unknown. One style to beat all styles. That's just a Jeet Kune Do thing, I think. That's not, I don't believe that's true. So what I teach are, boxing is my favorite, and I'll tell you why I love boxing. Boxing teaches hands. Boxing, you get hit. You learn how to get hit, and you learn how to hit. You learn how to take a punch. And a lot of styles, even Krav Maga, they can line you up, and then you got to fight your way to the back. They're punching each other in the stomach. Even the back kicking Kyokushin guys, the Masoyama. Masoyama was a Korean dude who went to Japan and had to get tough. I mean, he had to get really tough. So it's a tough style. It's a great style. But is it the best for martial arts? There's a lot of value there, a lot of great techniques. They can kick bats in half, but they don't punch and kick each other in the face. Even the 100-man kumite, the 100 guys, you have to fight 100 guys, and they beat the crap out of you. And it proves something. I don't know what it proves, but it proves something. It proves that you're tough. But is it self-defense? Is it the best for self-defense? Or do you blend styles, like I said? So I like boxing. I like parrying, learning how to parry, learning how to cover, learning how to move the body and the head at the same time, learning how to step right, left, ducking, bob and weave, slipping to the side. So I like all of that for self-defense. So I teach that for the hand part of it. The second part is grappling. I grew up, I started in judo. I did Western style wrestling in high school. I know how to sprawl. I know how to stop somebody from taking me to the ground. And I know what to do when I get on the ground. And I want my students, my children especially, my own blood, I want them to know how to defend themselves by being able to box a little bit and knowing how to grapple. My son is wrestling like 2.5 hours, 3 hours a night, 5 nights a week right now. So I don't have to worry about him anymore. He knows what he's doing. And he's getting that. Now, is it the same as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? No. Western wrestling, you don't want to be on your back because you get pinned. You do that in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you give them your back so you don't get pinned, you're going to get choked out very fast. So are there some things that you can learn from different styles? Yeah, that's the whole Bruce Lee thing. Take what works, discard the rest. Does that mean you don't need to learn enough from somebody else? No, that's a huge mistake too. People say, I studied Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 6 months. I did Taekwondo for 3 months. I did karate for a month and a half. I took a couple boxing classes. I took the best from all, and now I'm a 10th degree black belt in Mat Kwon Do. No, don't do that either. I knew a guy, his name was Bruce, and I think it was Bruce. It was years and years ago. It was in Gallipolis, Ohio. If you know where Gallipolis is, there's not much there. No, it's Duke, because he taught Duke Do. And I asked him, I met him at a seminar years ago, like 30 years ago, like, what's Duke Do? And he said the same thing. I did this for about 3 months and that for 4 months. I did this over here for a couple of weeks, and I took the best of all. I made my own system. And I'm like, just like Bruce Lee. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But from my experience, that's not enough. You need to get a solid foundation, a solid base. So what is that? What do you want to start with? Whatever's closest to you. Find a good instructor, somebody who's got good common sense, who's not going to hurt you, who's not arrogant, who doesn't tell you that his style is the only style or her style is the only style that works and everybody else's. It's like I'm not going to go there. Some people believe that. Some people believe that theirs is the only system that works and nothing else works. That's not true. I will tell you, I would put my safety on it. I used to get these crazy dudes back in the day with Jake Mace when I would I wasn't protecting Jake Mace. I've never met Jake Mace. It's just I would see people making fun of Jake Mace on the internet, on the YouTubes, and I'd say, hey, this guy's built up a big following. He did way back then. Don't tear him down. If you want to build something, build your own. But don't try to tear him down to build yourself up. And these Kung Fu dudes would come out of the woodwork wanting to fight me to the death. One of them, two boys, they had just gotten back from a Muay Thai training camp. They were wearing their little Muay Thai panties. And they came to the school and they wanted to fight me. And I cracked up because it's like, you little boys, I'm a grown man and they had just graduated high school and, whatever. There's a difference. It's just the world's not what you think it is sometimes, because you hear someone say some things. So you got to watch what you do. My point is, build a solid foundation first. Get some good solid training and whatever style is available to you, and then add to it. And while you're doing that, and again, if you have an instructor who's like, well, you can't go over there and learn this style because it's going to ruin your style, this is the best. No, it's not. They're just, if they have a commercial martial arts school, I'll tell you for a fact, they got to pay the bills and they got to feed their family. And they don't want you to go over to that guy because they're afraid you're going to leave him and quit paying him your tuition. That's just a fact. That's the fact. I believe that's true. And there's some exceptions. I'm sure some guys are more flexible. I always was. I didn't care. I had a big martial arts organization, big school, 5 classrooms. I would bring other styles in. That's how we exposed them. We had Muay Thai. We had Filipino martial arts. We had traditional Taekwondo. We had Judo. We had Jiu-Jitsu. We had little classes in each. And so that people had the opportunity to learn from different things. Boxing, lots of boxing. So that's my personal opinion. I'm not right. I just know what I've done, and I'm getting old now. Now that I'm almost a golden age senior, I'm gonna hit 55 in less than a month. Yeah, no, a little bit more than a month. When I hit 55, my wife has explained to me many, many times, because she's a little bit younger than I am, that I will be technically a senior by age. Which, what does that really mean? I know what it means for the way my body feels. I feel a little bit older. I'm not as fast. I'm not as strong. I'm not as quick. But I trade experience and knowledge and wisdom and not getting in fights when I don't have to for, for some of those things that I've lost. And you do too. As you get older, you'll understand it's not always just about, it's certainly not pure rage, and that's what makes you a good fighter. It has more to do with how can you, where's your common sense? Where's your wisdom? Where's your knowledge? Where's timing and distance? Sometimes you trade timing and distance for speed. You're not as fast, but you get there first because you understand timing and distance. These are things that come with wisdom and experience. That's what I was looking for. Anyway, in the comment section, please, if you would, I just wanted to show you this one more time. This is, if you have a martial artist in your life, or you're a martial artist, you might want to take a look at the Selfy-Stick. This is the Yawara, Japanese Yawara, Okinawan Yawara. We say Japanese, a lot of times we mean Okinawan. And it's just a fist load. Break somebody's jaw with it. Back fist, hammer fist, coming down over the top into the groin behind you. You got this hard piece of aluminum, and then you can stick this in all the pressure points. And the pressure points, if you use your hand, they work. If you use a Selfy-Stick, they work a whole bunch better. So there's a link to that in the description or on the video if you want to see what those cost. And if you're looking for a gift for yourself, it's a perfect stocking stuffer. It's not that expensive. But put in the comment section, what style of martial art or blend of styles do you think are best for self-defense? And think of self-defense in terms of life or death. Someone's coming at you. And I didn't mention Aikido. I love Aikido. It's one of my favorite martial arts. But I didn't mention it. And I didn't mention Tai Chi. I don't love Tai Chi, but I used to teach it. Because I was curious. And I thought, is it just because it's so doggone slow? I almost cussed. So darn slow that I can't stand the Tai Chi and the push hands and the sticky hands and the slap fighting and all that other stuff and the big circular, and I'm not against it. I think it's very valuable. And I always told myself, oh, and Qigong. Qigong, we call it Qigong in Korean styles, Qigong, Chinese, Japanese styles. Cultivation of the energy. And I believe in all that. I believe it all works. And I don't believe in dim mak. I don't believe you can death touch somebody and pop them back with your aura or your energy or throw your chi at them. I think that's a bunch of BS that unscrupulous people use to try to trick people into not working out very hard. They get the big bellies. What else did I not mention? Oh, Sistema. I got nothing against the Sistema. I've seen a lot of the Sistema. It's the Russian style. But every time I think of guys with big bellies, I think of Sistema. Not because they all have big bellies, but there are some with the big bellies. And those dudes are tough. So, sorry about that. Anyway, put in the comment section. Any of those, all of those are good. Yeah, King Boxing. Larry King's just down the street, by the way. I don't know if that's the King with the big hair. You know, Larry King was the guy that had all those fighters in his stable for years and doesn't always have a great reputation. I'll just say that. Mike Tyson works out down the street. I see Mike Tyson from time to time. Talk about boxers, right? There's a lot of famous, Bill Superfoot Wallace just turned 80. Happy birthday. I see him from time to time at the boxing gym too, working out in the corner. He's famous, Superfoot, famous kickboxer from back in the day. Everybody seems to come down here eventually. You got all the pro athletes and everybody else. Now all of New York is moving down to South Florida. Anyway, put that in the comment section. Let me know what you think. What's the best style of martial art? What would you teach your kids? What would you learn yourself if you want to stay safe in the world we live in?